Right, gents, we are live and direct for a brand new series, as you can see, of Road to 2 million in funding. So funded capital only, live accounts are not included in this challenge. With this series, it's going to be including all trades taken. If I break a rule, I will show it. If I blow a funded account, I'll show it. If I buy a funded account, I'll show it. And finally, if I pass a funded account, I will obviously be showing it. Every trade taken is going to be with my mechanical model. So we've got 3 models that I trade: the LRV, the mech, and the hybrid. Okay, so the hybrid is 5% discretion on the bias. The mech, fully mechanical. LRV, fully mechanical. Okay, details on what the models entail will be sprinkled throughout the episodes. But for now, that is the summary of what's going down. So we're going to be going from 1 mil. So we've currently got 1 mil in funding, okay? And this is the split so far of my funding. So as you can see, I've got 200K of FTMO, 200K with Trader Scale, 250K with Top Step, and that's 550Ks here. 50K of ACG, well, I just 510Ks. I didn't want to put 510Ks on here, that'll take up too much space. Another 50K, and then another 50K, and a 200. So this is all live funding. And then we've got the evals that I currently have open. So we've got 200Ks of QT with that are in phase 1. So far, as you can see, 1.2 million in total evals. ACG, 50K phase 2. That'll be my max cap of ACG if that gets passed. FTMO 100K phase 2, FTMO 100K phase 1. Fivers 100K phase 2. Funded next, 100K phase 2. Another funded next, 100K phase 1. And then another funded next, 100K phase 1. One of these only needs trading days, okay? And then it's done. Lucid, 350Ks. And that's obviously futures at the bottom. And this is the total operation that I've got here. And then we're going to go through some rules today as well about what this series is actually going to entail. Before I get into this, okay, I want to show some credibility. There are so many liars and charlatans in trading that might say they have 1 million in total funding, but they do not, and they don't show proof. So on the DGI now, I'm going to go through all of my dashboards showing proof that I actually have these accounts, okay? So let's get into it. We will start with Top Step. So Top Step, as you can see, I have got 5 50K express accounts there, and this is obviously on my laptop. This is obviously my thing. Let's hit a refresh, just because people do actually Photoshop in this bitch. We refresh here, and they are still there. So 5 50Ks with Top Step. Now let's go over to FTMO. So at the moment, as you can see, we've got a stage 1 eval here, which is just below break even. We've got a past account here, which is 3.6K in profit, as you can see, FTMO account there. If we go onto the verification tab, and then we can see that yesterday I passed a phase 2. I'm yet to receive the credentials. I'm yet to get the account. They're going to process it over the weekend, I imagine. And then finally, we've got an active phase 2 there, which I just need to click start verification on. So I've passed phase 1 on that. So there, the proof of the accounts on FTMO. Alpha Capital, right, let's go through. So as you can see, I know I'm a bit in the screen here, but boom. Then we've got a 10K, which I'm not going to pass because that'll go over my cap, max cap. So we've got a 10K here, 5% up, qualified. Another 50K. This is 1.1K up, qualified. 10K there, 1.3K up, qualified. 3% there, boom, 10K, 50K. That's a verification. So that's the challenge that I spoke about earlier. 200K, fully passed. 50K, passed. 10K, passed. And then a 10K passed there. So that's the 350K and then 50K in evals with Alpha Capital. Here is my QT. So here's one 200K here, which is 1.7K up. Okay. And then here is the other QT account, which is 10K up at the moment. Next, we're going to go to funded next. As you can see, here's my P2 that I said about earlier. Here is the P1. Here is an account I'm yet to blow. It's got $180 left. I've just been leaving it on the side. And then here is another P1 there. Obviously, this is the one that I mentioned that is passed but needs the trading days. Okay. Here are my Lucid evaluations. Just got 3 evals open. I had one that was breached. Okay, so here's, look, 1 50K, 2 50Ks, 3 50Ks. Here is my Trader Scale. As you can see, 1-step account, funded. Let's let it load, boom. Okay, active, just below break even at the moment, okay? Fivers, so, boom, as you can see, 100K, boom, balance, 8K up, disabled now, so that means it's passed. And then you've moved over to phase 2, boom, active, sound. Pretty sure that's all the accounts that are listed. We've got the Top Step, FTMO, ACG, and then all the evals proof there. So we've gone over all of the credibility that I've actually got these accounts just as a baseline. Okay, so as I add accounts, I'll be adding them here. And then as I pass accounts, I'll be adding them here. The rules for this series, okay, go as follows. And I'll get the camera up so you can see these a bit better. But rule number 1 is I'll be showing every execution / trade, okay? So showing every execution / trade. Step 2, showing all accounts status, okay? All the statuses of the account. So whether it's passed, whether it's failed, whether I bought it and I lost it, whatever. And then also, last one video per week. So, at the moment, I do a trade recap on all the hybrid and mech trades I take on YouTube, but recently, it's just way too much admin to constantly be posting videos like that. So what I'm gonna be doing is 1 video a week on this series, and in this video, I'll be going over all the trade recaps that I take, okay? So all the trades, going over my journal, going over everything that you need to know. So at the moment, my journal, as it stands for 2025, I'll show you the mech and the hybrid journal. So I'm not gonna be showing the LRV journal, okay? But I will be tracking the trades that I take, but I'm just not gonna show you the journal because LRV stuff is just kind of my private group only. That's kind of an edge that we have in there that I don't always publicize specifically, okay? But here is what I'm standing on at the moment. So we are 10.1 risk to reward. So if you're not familiar with this way of journaling, we've got the year, the month, the date, the pair, the time that we got entered, the session, and the RR, okay? So I track in RR because I believe that's the most versatile way to be tracking. So 10.1 R up at the moment on a 3-win streak there on the hybrid. Then on the mech, we are 1.1 R up, pretty much break even here. This is the tally. Now, what I do want to say, okay, which is really, really important here, is I do something called diversification. Now, what diversification is where you have some accounts for Mech London with certain pairs, some accounts for hybrid with certain pairs, and then some accounts for LRV. So if you see my Mech London results and I'm down 1.1 R or up 1.1 R, that doesn't determine what I am up or down on certain accounts because there are many different plans within my trading. So maybe NQ goes on certain accounts, EU goes on certain accounts, AU. I'm not going to say my plan specifically on the back end, obviously that's just source, but what I am going to say is that is the case. So on hybrid, let's say I've had 6 wins, 3 losses on the year. Well, maybe on some accounts, I've only taken the 6 wins and not the losses. On other accounts, I've only taken the losses and not the wins, just due to how the diversification is set up. So I just want to make that clear. Contrary to popular belief, I don't do the account rotation thing, where you go one trade on one account and the next trade on the next. I don't do it that way. I think you get far bigger winning periods when you copy trade across a lot of accounts, or copy trade, I do limit order, so I do it all manually, than if you just do the account rotation thing, okay? It's just another way to do it. It's how I do it. It's how I've scaled. It's how I've gotten payouts in the past. So that's what I'm going to keep doing. So at the moment, these are all the standings. So just to recap the rules, we're showing all the trades, all the account statuses, 1 video per week, and then in the account status, that's kind of showing what accounts I'm buying and what accounts I'm failing and passing as well, okay? Now, I think it will make sense if we go over one of the most recent trade recaps, which is a 2.6 R win on ORD USD. So as you can see, I take a 1 to 3 risk to reward. Most times this trade was a 2.6 because my trail got reversed because I do trail my stop loss as well. Okay, but as you can see, we took out previous session highs. So the session, you can't really see it on this camera, but the session dividers are here and here. Previous session highs here, and then we had a fake out. Well, the previous session high got taken on this candle right here. Fake out straight after, candle came up, reswept the level. Break of structure from this candle, fib tool on the top of the move to the bottom of the move, and then we got tapped in here, tap and barrel. Okay, so that was one of the most recent trades there, which was the 3 risk to reward. So we've got 3 risk to reward in some accounts, 2.6 on others. And now we'll go through this other trade, which was Euro USD, 2.6 risk to reward here. So, boom. Same again, previous session highs taken, fake out, break of structure right here on the fractals indicated by Rachel T. If you don't already, get that installed. Fib tool, top of the move to the bottom of the move, and then obviously look, limit order, tap in, boom, and then we got 2.6 because of that trail, like I said previously. So, I'm just going to verbally explain the way my strategy works, okay, and the way I've been able to do what I've been able to do so far. So I've been able to accumulate 1 million in funding so far. How have I done that? Number 1, on futures firms, I trade a lower risk to reward model. Why? Because on futures firms, number 1, the requirement to pass includes equity-based drawdown, so a higher win rate, lower risk to reward model with a lower retracement on the equity curve is way more beneficial to futures accounts because of the equity-based drawdown, which means that the drawdown follows you as you climb rather than staying static, okay? Number two, the reason why I do lower risk to reward on futures is because of the 5 winning days of $200. Now, if I'm risking $200 anyway, 5 winning days of 1R is far easier to hit than 5 winning days of 3R, which is the main model. So that's why I go lower risk to reward in that regard as well. So maximizing the ability to get payouts on futures accounts. So that's what I'm pairing to the futures, which is the 550Ks with Top Step, and then Lucid, which I'm getting into now. A few evals with them. I'm going to be going with Alpha Futures soon. I did just have 350Ks with their zero plan, but I didn't want to go with their zero plan because the max payout's way too small. So I'm going to get the advanced next time. But I'm waiting for their new platform to drop before I buy them because I want to have it on their new platform rather than TraderBait, okay? So we're going to be getting Alpha Futures as well, which is the upcoming plan. Now with the Forex firms, I do my higher risk to reward model, which is pretty much a minimum of 3R, but I can hit a maximum of unlimited. So at the moment, the max I've hit is a 6.7 with the trail rule that we do have, the FOL. So that's that really. I do the Forex firms with the higher risk to reward model just because the drawdown is static. You get more drawdown. The rules are just way better fitted to that. The software is way easier to use with limit orders as well. So it all just works together synergistically. Okay. So I trade both Forex and futures because why the fuck not, mate, at the end of the day. And I also trade live accounts as well. Now, some advice if you want to join me on this journey, maybe you're road to 500K or road to 1 mil or road to 100K in funding. Here's some advice. And here is how I've done it in terms of risk, pairs, diversification, DCA, all the rest of it. Now, number one, if you want to pass quick, you're also going to fail quick, okay? And if you can't accept that risk, truly you need to ask yourself this. If you cannot accept that risk, don't embark on the journey in the first place. Be one of those guys who buys 110K every 6 months, waits for it to pass or fail and risks under 1%. I am not like that, okay? I'm not going to tell you exactly what I risk because I don't want to advise risk because I don't want you to be in a worse position than you are now because I told you to risk what I risk and you couldn't handle it. But I risk more than 1% and less than 2%, okay? So there is the guidance there from me. But I risk high, okay? So I'm passing quick or I'm failing quick. I buy evals multiple times a week. I dollar cost average into the evals. That's what DCA means. I'm buying multiple evals a week. I'm risking high. I'm splitting up the evals into different models. So I'm hedging against the uncertainty of the future. I don't want all my eggs in one basket being the hybrid. Neither do I want all my eggs in one basket being the LRV or MEC London. Last year, the MEC gained a 20R streak in 1 to 2 months. It was insane. And the hybrid in the back end of Q4, it was a bit weaker. We had a pull up towards the end, but it wasn't the best. Now, coming into Q1 of 2026, hybrid is up 10R, MEC is only up 1R. This is exactly what I'm talking about. There is no good or bad model. There is just different timing and when that model is going to come through. So, as a hedge against the uncertainty of the future, as Big PT says, we are going to diversify, equally spreading my evals between futures, Forex, and then obviously Forex. So Forex is split in between two, 50% MEC London, 50% hybrid, and then LRV is pure futures, okay? This is why I've been able to do what I've been able to do, because I'm not all eggs in one basket. I'm splitting my seed across the market, as they would say. So, if you want to do the same, I suggest number one, get 2 pairs or 3 pairs. Number 2, split those pairs up into different accounts. Number 3, get 1 or 2 variations of the model that you trade. You don't have to trade my model. Just 1 or 2 variations or 1 to 3 variations of the model that you trade, maybe a high risk to reward and a low risk to reward to hedge against when there is volume in the market versus low volume. In lower volume periods, my LRV model does far better than the MEC and the hybrid. In high volume periods, they all do good, okay? And then when the market isn't doing what the market should do for my model, then obviously all models are going to lose anyway, okay? So if we're getting straight SL'd, all models are going to lose anyway. So, with that all done and said, okay, we've gone through a little bit of how my model works on a lower time frame. Obviously, bro, I've got other videos on my channel. I've got a completely free course on how to, trade the basic mechanics of my model. Don't get me wrong, there isn't all the layers that we have in the VIP group, but that's not an issue. You guys can build up your own rules through backtesting. You don't just need mine. Maybe you could find better variables than me. I'm not saying that you can't. My edge can obviously be beaten, but I just know that it is at least a good one through my 40 years of backtested data. So the reason why I have so much confidence on my model is because we have so much backtested data, okay? We have over 40 years of backtested data. So just take a look at some of these slides here. We've got so much data on both the 5-minute model and the 15-minute model, going through loads of variables like no news Mondays, bank holidays, trading when there's high risk news, trading obviously holding through the weekend versus not holding through the weekend, loads and loads of summaries of how my model performs over the last 5 years, okay? Entry and SL specifics. We've got New York cross rule, which is obviously a continuation model that I have within my model, okay? Now, I have data on loads of things because I didn't believe the whole general consensus of you shouldn't trade no news Mondays, you shouldn't trade Fridays, you shouldn't trade bank holidays, you should do X, Y, and Z when X, Y, and Z news comes up. Well, what I found is that, number one, no news Mondays have absolutely zero effect on my win rate. The win rate is actually pretty much exactly the same. Same thing with bank holidays. Sometimes there's low volume on bank holidays, sometimes there isn't. And guess what? My win rate was unaffected once again. All of these things that I was told, all of these preconceptions that gurus put onto me, because it's what they were told, I went in the market in backtesting and found out that they were all full of shit. Okay, so I found out the best entry levels on the fib tool for my model. I found out the best entry levels on the fib tool for my pairs. Best session for my model. Found out that New York and London actually has an equal win rate. Funnily enough, guess what I also found? NASDAQ, you think, oh, it only performs New York, there's only volume New York. Well, guess what? The win rate in London on NASDAQ is actually fucking better than the win rate in New York. So what do you fucking know, mate, okay? So, just wanted to give an intro to the series. Couple of trade recaps there, not really, but I'm gonna be going over a trade recap on my laptop now. Okay, so we're gonna go over to the Mac. The camera's gonna be over. This is no longer gonna be here. We're gonna go into the Mac. I'm gonna do a nice little year review so far on all of my trades taken from January to February. So then we're all caught up. Everyone's on the same page. You know what trades I've taken. You know why I'm taking them. And then we can move on with the weekly format of me reviewing all the trades in the week every Saturday, and we're gonna get it rolling. So maybe the video will be uploaded on a Sunday for you, but I'll be filming them on a Saturday, okay? So, hope you've enjoyed the vid so far. Comment if you are from the TTC, but we're gonna go over to the trade recap section of this video now, okay? Let's go. Boom, we are live and direct on the MacBook now. So, let's go through all of these trades, right? I'm not gonna trade recap on screen every single one, because the video will be 2 hours long. And they're all the same like shit anyway, okay? So we're just going to choose a couple random ones, couple losses, couple wins. So we'll start with a nice win, one of my favorite ones of this year. We'll start with a nice day, actually, one of my favorite days of this year. One of the best trading days I've actually ever had was January 15th, 2026. So let's go into January 15th, 2026 right now. And we're going to keep it with a good pace because I don't want you guys to be sat here bored watching some bullshit trade recaps over and over, but I will be going through all the trades visually anyways. W in the comments as well if this is a good series idea and you're gassed for seeing the progress. L in the comments if you think dead out series, bro. What are you actually even doing thinking that you're going to get 2 mil funding, bro? You're a fucking nerd. I've oftentimes actually heard from certain people online as well, while I'm marking this out, is that my strategy is not prop firm worthy. So this series is going to also conquer that misconception because you'll oftentimes find my strategy is not prop firm worthy, but I have 1 million in funding, so clearly it fucking is, all right? Don't listen to the naysayers, lads, about any strategy. They don't know the ins and outs of what they're speaking about most of the time. Okay, so number one, what model was this on? So this was on the hybrid model. Okay, so we're going to do a hybrid bias breakdown, which I don't usually do on YouTube, but daily time frame is what we start off. Now, not to plug myself here, but we do go through the hybrid and teach the hybrid exclusively in VIP, but I can give a glimpse into it today. But if you're wondering why the breakdowns aren't as detailed, too long to describe right now in a short little recap. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, looking at the last 5 candlesticks in the distance here from open to close on the 5th candle to the 1st. We're bearish on the distance. Now looking for significant highs and significant lows. The qualification for that is number 1, a fractal, number 2, shape on the line chart and distance on the line chart. So distance down, distance up, or distance up, distance down, and then that shape as well. I prioritize distance over shape. Okay, this is the hybrid bias, 5% discretion. I've always admitted that. That's not something that I hide. That's not something that I try to fake or anything like that. Okay, 5% discretion is what it is, and that's how we roll. So, going through what you can see, and I can already see this quite nicely here. We have 1 low here, 2 lows there, 3 lows here. And what we're looking for a qualification for a trend is 1, 2, 3 lows getting lowered in a row at the same time 1, 2, 3 highs getting lowered in a row, or vice versa for the upside as well. So that'd be a bearish, but we have 1 and then 2, 3. Now for the height, okay, and where the high is or low is, you're looking at the candlestick chart, not the line chart, okay? So boom, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's bearish on the 4 hour, bearish on the day. I don't know what I have done there. So just established that the 4 hour was bearish there. 1 hour time frame as well. Let's go back. 1 hour time frame looking easy as well. So this read was quite simple here. So we had literally had it in the short term. Boom. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. I've already done this read, so I already know the line chart syncs up nicely. Boom, as it does. So therefore, we are bearish on all 3 time frames. When we went on the MAC here, let's blank it off. Okay, the MAC was bullish. So this is why I didn't take this on the MAC. Because the MAC for the bias is the most recent 4 hour break of structure. If that's a 4 hour to the upside, then we're bullish. If it's downside, we're bearish. Okay, so bearish on the hybrid. Okay, so that means when we're going in to London session, which I trade London and New York, depending on the account split, like I've said before, in the diversification segment. Want to mark out previous session highs, because we're bearish. Asian high, let's wait for that to get taken out. That gets taken out. Once that gets taken out, waiting for the first bearish candle to form. Then we would draw the fake out range. That bearish candle forms, fake out range here, lowest point in previous plus current to the highest point in previous plus current if you're bearish. Then we need price to tap this blue line. Boom, we faked out. We're now waiting for a confirmation to the downside, which is a break of structure on the 5 minute. Boom, break of structure right here. Fib tool on the high of the session to the lowest point made after the BOS. And as you can see, price came into the Goldilocks zone, which is where our limit order would be placed here. High of the fib tool is where the stop loss goes. 1 to 3 risk to reward. Obviously, I do trail, and I'm not going to go over the specifics of the trail today. Once again, keep that edge exclusive. But what I will go through is what R I got. I ended up getting 6.7R. Now, the way I'm able to do this is I do secure minimum 2.6 to 3R depending on where the trail is. Okay, so I'm not sacrificing profits here in order to get that 6.7. Full risk off. Okay, in terms of like where my stop loss is being placed as the move goes. Okay, so 6.7R there, which is that exact trade that I showed. So if you look at the entry would have been 11.35. If we go on the chart here, 11.35, and then TP New York Open. Now, that was an amazing win, 6.7R, that's phenomenal. That boosted my account so much, okay? But then, coming into New York session, what did we have? We came up, the bias was the same. We swept highs of previous session, which is London highs. Boom. Then, we came in, had that first bearish candle form. So we would draw the fake out zone. Price came in and tapped that fake out zone. Broke structure to the downside, okay? So if we look here, and I rewind back to that bearish candle, fib tool on the range, as you can see, that's the fake out zone, price to tap in, ended up tapping in, broke structure to the downside. After we broke structure to the downside, which is right here, after we broke structure to the downside, fib tool on the high of the move, well, the high of the session rather, to the lowest point after the BOS, which was there. And then as you can see, where our zone is, boom, tapped in, SL, once again, the exact same point. This is really mechanical entry here. Mechanical entries all the way around. This trade didn't quite trail. We did retrace up and stop out the trail, and we ended up getting 3 risk to reward. So this was a 9.7R day on AUD USD. AUD USD has been phenomenal for me this year. Okay, AUD USD this year, I have had, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4 wins and only 1 loss, I think. Yep, 4 wins, 1 loss, insane. EU's been lagging behind, but we did get a 2.6R there yesterday, which dragged us up nicely. Okay, so we've gone through one of my favorite winning days here of the year, just because of how much I won. Now let's go over a loss, and we'll do a MEC loss here. So we'll go for NQ. This was on the 18th, 11:20 a.m. So the 18th of Feb this was, so a bit more recent, but I thought I'd go over a loss and a win just so you can see that does happen. Okay, so boom. This was actually the 19th here, so I'm Rooksville, Mississippi for getting the dates wrong, I think, there. Boom, 19th, and then was there an ORD? Yeah, there was an ORD there. Boom, this is, I don't know why this is Jan. Bit of error, is it? It's fine. So, 19th of Feb, as you can see, I've already got this trade marked out. This was the LRV win for a 1R win on the LRV. Bit of a sneak peek on what that is there. But we had a unfortunate loss. This is how it goes with trading. Sometimes you get stopped out by a wick. Sometimes you get stopped out by a Drake candle. It doesn't really matter, bro. It doesn't really matter, okay? Regardless, you were stopped out. Wasn't your win, okay? A lot of people care. And look at what it got stopped out anyway. A lot of people care about shit like that. Like, oh, we got stopped out by a wick, so let's extend SL next time. I never do that. I follow my data. I never change my rules. That's one fundamental about my trading. So let's replay tool it back, and let's go through this NQ loss on the 19th of February, 2026. So what were we? We had the 4-hour time frame as bullish. Why did we have it as bullish? Because the most recent break of structure from the fractals indicator was to the upside on the 4-hour time frame. So if we're bullish, obviously we mark out our session times, which I didn't go over earlier, but I was doing it so you could follow. Session times for NASDAQ is 2:30 open. Okay, so boom, what did we see? If we're bullish, marking out previous session lows, that got taken straight away. We'll replay tool back to the sweep so you can see where the fake out zone was. Boom. London lows there because we're in New York session. Taking out a candle after open, waiting for that first bullish candle to form. Boom, first bullish candle forms. Fake out zone on the range. Waiting for price to tap into that blue line. Price taps into the blue line. Now waiting for a break of structure to the upside. Break of structure to the upside. Fib tool on the range, lower the move. 2, obviously, high, which is the highest point after the BOS. Limit order in that zone. Boom. tapped in, limit orders, straight down to obviously SL here, bit of profit, but then we got tapped out, okay? This is a fundamental understanding of how my strategy works. I don't change stuff. I just mechanically enter every single time, regardless of what I'm feeling. I don't care how many losses I've had. I don't care how many wins I've had. I'm executing the same exact strategy every time because I know it works. Here's some 2025 data. Like, come on, this is my hybrid model, 51% win rate last year with a 56.6R gain. And then obviously the MAC, which I traded towards the back end of last year, which was up 20R. And then I have a global sheet as well, okay? So in today's video, number one, we've showed all the trades I've taken this year. We recapped 3 other trades. I'm not gonna recap all of them, every single one individually, but with the weekly recaps that I will be doing every Saturday on this Road to 2 Million series, I will be going through every trade that I take other than the LRV. So MEC and the hybrid I'll go over. LRV, I'm just going to keep those recaps inside my group because that's just how I do. One thing I do want to mention, as I do mention every single video, I just want to highlight some of the performance of some of the lads in the group here. Lives in real time are being changed. As you know, some of the lads have already come out to Thailand. It's been phenomenal. Here's a little damage report. Last week, we had 12 phase 2s, 35 phase 1s, 5 payouts, okay? The payouts that we had was a 4K for T-Dot, 3K for Foxy, 4.8K for TZ, and this was actually at 6:34 Thai time. After we got that win yesterday, even more accounts were passed, as you can see. I had a 100K FTMO phase 2, 100K phase 1 fivers, 100K phase 1 FTMO there as well, then Brandon phase 1, phase 2 for Jay, and here are some more here, okay? Honestly, bro, so proud of these guys, just passing accounts left, right, and center, following the system. As you can see, since November 21st, I've had a 109% increase on my small live account, which I go high risk on, which was a 2K deposit originally, and that was 4.2K. So that's been nice as well. Funded next cert for me, Jay Barco, another cert there. Let's get to the payouts though. I don't want to bore you guys with past accounts. That's fucking boring as fuck. Let's get to the payouts here. Where are we? T-Dot, 4.1K. T-Dot's been clearing payouts like they're fucking going out of fashion recently, which has been insane for him. And I'm so excited to see him in the promised land soon. Okay, then we've got payout for Joza. Secured a payout for Leon on Think Capital, double payout there. Payout for Foxy, like I said, 3K payout there. More accounts for me, more accounts for everybody here. 4.8K payout for TZ Fred. Another payout for Sorto. Payout for Sorto again. Payout for Nathan. He also got a nice 2-point-something-K payout with Trader Scale as well. 10 P1s for a guy called Matt in the Discord. Not me. Here we go. Nathan, 2.8K payout there. $841 payout. $841 payout for Alex Christie there. Max payout for Mar13, getting a 5K payout here as well. Past accounts. Rio getting 5 or 6 payouts here. Rio more payouts. And Beta Cloud Dave, there we go. And that's just gone over pretty much just the last 2 or 3 weeks or so of payouts and past accounts for the team. So proud of all of the progress that all of the guys in the group are making. Such a solid group of lads. We truly have a real brotherhood in the VIP. It's like no other. We are so close as a community. I've never seen any community like it, to be honest, okay? So, everything you need to know is in the description. Okay, this video is now done. We are going to close it out. Like I say, 1 video every week from me in this series. So hopefully you guys can track me going road to 2 mil. We'll see if I do hit it. Could happen, could not. Depends on how long it will take. Whatever it may be, I'm sure I won't quit. I'll just keep going, keep DCAing, keep trading my model, keep following the rules, and keep ignoring the haters because, you know what I'm saying, there'll always be haters. There'll always be people that'll say things about the way that you do things, and they don't know because they're not you, okay? Peace, love, and unity, everyone. If you do want to join the brotherhood that, honestly, in the last 100 days or so, we've done nearly 10 million in past funding. Insane. Lives being changed. Traders coming out to Thailand. The whole vision is coming together, and I've never been more excited to see it in my entire existence. So the best time to plant a tree is right now. Let's go, boys. I'll see you boys in the next one.